Right, got that sorted out, hopefully. So yeah, Bringing On the Heartbreak, first 12-inch release in 1981, I think it was actually, this came out. Yeah, 1981, not 1980, so yeah. So these are both the original versions, Bringing On the Heartbreak. Side B has Me and My Wine and You Got Me Running, both from High and Dry. And I love the cover of it's a live shot from, you know, the original Pete Willis era. And there we have the single. It's on the Vertigo label here. And side 2. Again, it's quite bright there, you know. So, and it's in really good condition. I was really thrilled to bits to land a copy of that. Need to get the protective inner for it. So. Next up, this is a promo only. It's a Mexican promotional of Bringing On the Heartbreak, actually. So this is a Mexican issue only. And this came out in, this is 1984, this one. This is the remixed issue. And this is quite difficult to get hold of as well. Now, it basically has, you have Bringing On the Heartbreak on side 1, which does say remix in brackets. And then on side 2, you have Me and My Wine, which again is the remix. And you can sort of see, if you could make that out, they're actually in, is it Spanish or Portuguese, the main language for Mexico? Forgive me, I'm not 100% sure. But that's the back. I think there was some kind of water damage to the corner here at one point. It's like as if someone spilt coffee on it or something. But the other thing, I mean, it says there's the promotional sticky thing there. And the other thing about this is it's side 2 is an etched vinyl. You've got the band signatures etched into the vinyl on side 2. That's side 1. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Actually, yeah. Do you know what? Side 1 has both of these songs on it. Side 2 has nothing, right? It has the etched signatures. That's what it is. So it's not side 1 and side 2 at all. It's Bringing On the Heartbreak and Me and My Wine remixed on both on side 1. And on side 2, you've got a custom label of the band. Boy, that glare is quite, you know, it's no one glare, it's the other off the window. And I don't know if you can see, but there is the band signatures. That's Steve Clark there, actually. It's very hard to make out, and if you just go round, you can see the other ones in that sort of a glare. Yeah, it's really tricky to notice it, actually, but they are all there. Rick Savage is down here. Yeah, there it is, sort of. So yeah, they're all there, the whole 5 of them. But obviously for me, Steve Clark's is super important. That's it there. So yeah, I was really quite happy to get this. It's not the best condition. There is a few scuffs and scrapes on it, but obviously this side doesn't get played anyway. However, I would have liked a better copy, but can't complain. The sleeves, and for the most part, decent condition. And it is quite hard to get a hold of. So that is the Mexican promotional. And it did come in a poly-lined inner sleeve as well, which is good, I guess. So, next one is really an absolute delight for me. It's the 12-inch of Photograph. This was the first release. Apparently Photograph was released 3 times in the UK back in 1983, believe it or not. And this one as well, again it might be hard to spot, but there you can just see here That's Steve Clark's autograph, and it's his actual proper autograph. It's, he signed it upside down actually. There it is there, if you can make that out in the shine. Steve Clark has actually signed this, and so has Joe Elliott. Joe Elliott's signature is that one there, which is, you know, he obviously signed it first and picked the anyhow. But anyway, the mere fact that Steve has had his hands on this is amazing for me. So it's an absolute piece of holy grail. And the single, and it's in amazing condition as well. Side 1 photograph, side 2 has Bringing on the Heartbreak and Mirror Mirror Look Into My Eyes, which I love that song from High and Dry. And it came with a polylined inner as well, which is very handy, and it's on custom Def Leppard label. It is Vertigo. Side 2 with both tracks. So really chuffed to get that. The fact that it's autographed by Steve just makes it one of the most amazing things that I own. There we go, just get that slotted back in there. Next one is equally amazing because it's also autographed by Steve. I've got Joe, Phil and Steve on this one. Rock of Ages 12 inch. That's Phil Collin. Joe Elliott, and here again that's Steve Clark's right there. This is autograph. You can see it much clearer on this one in black marker pen. It is the real genuine article. So yet another amazing autographed record by Steve on here for me. And the 12 inch does have different photographs of the band to the 7 inch. They're similar, but they are different. So another cool reason to have both if you're an avid collector is that you get different pictures on the back. B-side, there is 2 songs, but it only says action, not words up here. But I think, if memory serves me right, I could be wrong. No, I am wrong actually. It is just the one song, but I'm sure there's another. I think it might be Too Late for Love, or there is another one somewhere where they omitted to put the second track on the back cover of the album, the back cover of the sleeve, but it is on the record. So this has got the Sunset Vertigo label, and again the record's in stunning condition. So yeah, absolutely thrilled to bits to have these 2. Just want to be careful as to how I put this back in here. Slightly tight fitting, but yeah, autograph by the man himself. And so next one is Too Late for Love. I think this was one of the first 12 inches I got of Def Leppard. This is one of my early ones added to my collection. It's a cool sleeve I've got. I like this one as well. Too Late for Love. On the back you have Foolin' and High and Dry Saturday Night. And this one we have a red label, Vertigo, Def Leppard, and on side B, Foolin' and High and Dry. Then another, this was the later re-release of Photograph, the single, and it's on a different sleeve, this one. It's the wallet sleeve. So yeah, This might be the one where it omits the other song. I'll find out the now. Again, Photograph on side A, Bringing on the Heartbreak on side B. Just check what the record says. This one, black label with the Def Leppard logo, side A. And yes, this is the one. Side 2 you've got Bringing on the Heartbreak and Mirror, Mirror, Look Into My Eyes. So there is 2 songs on here. You can see the groove marks. So there is 2 tracks on side B, but it only states Bringing on the Heartbreak on the sleeve. So this is the one I was thinking of. So just an interesting thing to note. So that's another issue of Photograph. Right. Next one. We're going to the Hysteria Times now, and I have this is another promo. This is a United States promotional copy of Woman. Now I know Woman was released as a single. This is the not for sale promotional copy, and it just has Woman. It has no other songs on it. It's Woman on both sides of the record, and it has this image which features on the UK's Animal. Comes on the Mercury sleeve. I'll not bother taking it out this time yet. And yeah, it's exactly the same track on both sides. And it's quite a nice, strong, stiff card sleeve, that one. So there we have it. So I was really delighted to add that to the collection. Then we have the UK singles. This is Animal, the 12-inch. This is a limited edition coloured vinyl. So many of these were issued, and it comes on red vinyl. And there's the same picture that was on the Woman promo there. You've got Animal, the extended version on side 1, and you've got the standard version and Tear It Down on side 2. And there we have it. A lovely red vinyl and custom sleeve, side 2. So that's pretty cool. Can be a little bit pricey to lay your hands on a red vinyl issue nowadays, but that was one of the first ones I got when I started collecting, before kind of pre-internet times. So then Pour Some Sugar on Me, the 12-inch. This isn't the best copy. The sleeve's a bit tatty on here. There's marks where there was a sticky label. That's a bit of ring wear. A little bit of ring wear on the back as well. But I do have another 2 copies of this, so I'll just bring them up. Another couple of Pour Some Sugar on Me's, which are in better condition. This one's the best sleeve-wise. It's in immaculate condition, but somebody who previously owned it, named Maggie, wrote her name Maggie on the back. So that's the only blemish there. But apart from that, they're amazing, and I have that is one of my favourite photographs of the band of all time. So, but yeah, for Sugar, let's just Suki move with it. Yep, the custom Def Leppard black label on the other side. So on side 1 you've got the extended version. On side 2 I think you've got the album version and I Wanna Be Your Hero. That's that. I shall move them to the side. Next is another Pour Some Sugar on Me. This is a special edition, Lep S2, Lep S for special it was. It opens in a sort of gatefold, but it was one of these triangle shaped vinyl. It's a 7-inch actually, this one, but because of the triangular shape, it comes in a 12-inch housing. So yeah, and you have Pour Some Sugar on Me on this side, and on the other side, I Want to Be Your Hero. And the other thing inside here is you have the UK tour dates from 1987 there, so so that's that one. Then we have Hysteria, the 12-inch single. I didn't have this on 7-inch yet, but that'll come. So we have the 12-inch, and side B. At the time, again, it was two previously unreleased track. Riding to the Sun, they did a reworked version, and Love and Affection Live from the Tilburg, Holland show. And again on again it's just the black custom sleeve. Then we get to some special ones, because I'm not going to open this out because it's quite tight to get in and out the sleeve, but this is Hysteria, the collector's edition box. And again, you get the 12-inch, just what I've shown you there, with Riding to the Sun and Love and Affection Live on side B. But this one came with a full colour poster, 30 by 40 inch in size, and on the other side you had a band discography of everything that was had been released by the band up to this point, and that opens out quite large, and you've got pictures of the band on one side. So this is very tricky to get a hold of actually, and it can be quite expensive as well sometimes. Then we have Armageddon, the 12-inch, the Nuclear Mix. You like the way they named that one? The extended version is the Nuclear Mix. So yeah, and this is in spotless condition. There's absolutely not a mark on the sleeve, which I'm thrilled about. Cool picture of the band, and you've got Ring of Fire and the Atomic Mix on side B. And this one has the white custom label that I'm after the 7-inch with this label on it as well, and that's really why I just kind of like the cool, like the exploding words there, the 3D exploding words for Armageddon. And the other side. So that's that one. And then another special boxed edition that they released was for Armageddon. And again, this is pretty tricky to get a hold of. I'm not going to open this one just now, but it contains the Nuclear Mix 12-inch, which I've just shown. It's exactly the same. You get a poster which opens, it's black, and it says Def Leppard Armageddon is coming. It's just the kind of the words, it's pretty cool. Or Armageddon is here, something like that. And you get 5 postcards. Each of the band members, you get a postcard, which is from a Ross Halfon photo shoot. And there's an enamel badge, which is just, it's like that. It's kind of got the words Armageddon in sort of 3D effect. So all of that is in here. I have the whole thing. And this one is number 908 of however many they released. I don't know what the number was, but and you have the same tracks, Armageddon It, and then Ring of Fire and the Atomic Mix on the back. And it's in decent condition. It's got a bit of age-related discoloration, but on the whole I was chuffed to get this because it did cost me a few quid. Then next I've got Love Bites, and this is the DJ edition. This is a special DJ edition which wasn't, you know, for regular sale. Has that stamped on it as well. Yeah, so you've got Love Bites and Billy's Got a Gun on side A. And on side B you have Rocket the Lunar Mix. Which is kind of interesting considering the next song that they released after this was Rocket, you know. If you haven't figured it out by now, well, Rocket was never initially meant to be released as a single, never, because it came out way back in '87 on the B-side of, it was on the B-side of Pour Some Sugar on Me for the German issue. I think it's appeared on other CDs and stuff like that, you know, as a B-side. And it was never intended initially to be released as a single. This was meant to be the last single from Hysteria. And another obvious reason for that is you will see it when I show you the next one. Is the Love Bites limited edition box. Now right away it says The Final Coming, you know, so that was basically the final track. And there was an advert as well going around in some of the magazines. I think I had that advert for a while. And it was advertising the single Love Bites and also advertising at this point Hysteria, which had just been released. And it said, for the both to coincide, it said the final pieces of the Hysteria puzzle, meaning this is the last release that completes it. And in this limited edition box contains the final 4 sections of the Hysteria sleeve. Now you'll notice each of these sleeves are made up of a section of the album cover. And having had so many of them already released, you got the other 4 which would fill in the gaps and make up the front cover from all the singles, and I think it has been shown on the internet before. I'm not going to do it here because I'd need a whole load of space and Suki would ruin everything. But yeah, so on here you've got Love Bites and Billy's Got a Gun. On the B-side of this one you have Excitable, the Orgasmic Mix, which is, you know, an extended version of that. Which was obviously previously unreleased as well. So it's interesting that they have Excitable on here, and yet the Lunar Mix of Rocket was on the DJ edition. I don't have the standard 12-inch, just the regular, but I'm pretty sure it's got Excitable on it as well. But yeah, this was meant to be it, and then I don't know if it was an extra promotional thing, they decided to release Rocket just to squeeze the cash cow a bit further, or but Def Leppard had been nominated for an award on the Brits in February '89, and so I don't know if they released Rocket just to kind of keep them in the charts at that point as well, because Rocket was out around the same time. And here it is, Rocket, the 12-inch. It says here the Lunar Mix, which was the extended version, obviously. Rocket Lunar Mix. Then you've got Release Me on the B-side, which was the not very brilliant Stumpus Maximus and the Good Old Boys cover. It's just, I think it was done as a bit of a laugh, to be honest. And there we have the custom label again. Side B. So yeah, this was 1989 at this point. Shows you the strength of the album though, when you can still hit the charts with singles from it 2 years after its release, practically, almost 2 years after its release. And finally, the person I got this from, it was somebody on eBay was selling it, and it came to me like this. Now this is one of those final pieces that are in the Love Bite box that you get. So she must have had that as well, and she chose to put this in here, because in here is the 12-inch picture disc of Rocket, which I wanted to have, just to have basically, and that's it there. Just going to leave it in there, but again it's the Lunar Mix on here, and on side B you have the radio edit of Rocket and Release Me, but there's a pretty cool picture of the band there as well, so basically I kind of wanted it just to have Steve on there, and yeah, it came to me with this, so oh well, that's cool, it'll act as a cover sort of thing for it. So that brings to the end of that one my 12-inch selection. I don't know if it'll be the final part or not, depends how long I take, and I might do a final part after that, just clearing up the other odds and ends that I have relating to my Steve Clark era Def Leppard. So that's it for the meantime, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in another video.